Yes, in a very rare move, Tesla actually dropped the prices of all of their models, but it doesn't mean it's going to be cheaper to buy a Tesla in 2009. I will explain why this is good and at the same time apparently bad as far as stock market is concerned. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric. Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. And of course, if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. It's down there in a red. It says subscribe. It's free. And that way you don't miss anything moving forward because I guarantee you 2019 is going to be an amazing year full of news and surprises and is going to be awesome. Anyway, but let's talk about one of, I guess, surprises. I'm surprised, but some people are saying that they totally expected this. Tesla dropped the prices of all of their cars by $2,000. Now, obviously, they're trying to combat or at least partially offset the 3750, almost $4,000 in tax rebate cut. Obviously, the expectation was that the demand and sales are going to drop because of that. Because essentially, especially for Model 3, I don't think for Model S and Model X is really going to be a case. But for the Model 3, because it's like about 10% of the price, it will affect the sales. They're kind of having the same, to deal with because of tariffs in China. Norway is going to be cutting down on some incentives for higher priced electric cars. So, and this is going to be happening. And one, it's obviously interesting to see what's going to happen with the demand of Model 3s here in the United States because of this price cut. These incentives are going to be going away, in the next year, 2, 3 years all over the world, especially for Tesla. And I think this is really, really, this is a really good way of testing it out because I got to tell you, like, I think this car is still pretty good for its, especially when they're going to come up with a $35,000 version. Just the bang for your buck is just going to be amazing. Even right now, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So nevertheless, they dropped the price by $2,000. That's obviously not enough. It's only about half of the total, but they're cutting down by half is a lot. Now we're only talking about 1,750 is the difference. So don't forget, if you're going to be buying a Tesla in January or February or March, and especially the Model 3 that you can't really lease and get your savings right away with the tax credit, you will have to wait until pretty much over a year, until April of next year or wherever you do your taxes, to get that back, right? So essentially, you're not going to be receiving that extra almost $4,000, but you're going to be getting $2,000 right away because that's a price cut, and you'll pay a little bit less in taxes, obviously the sales tax. So there's some good to it in terms of having this pretty much an instant rebate. Now, however, not everybody's happy about it, and it is the stock market that's not. Now, not that it's a good, stock market has never been a good indication, I think, of reality, but nevertheless, I'll tell you why they're upset in just a second. I want to remind you that this show on this channel is sponsored by XREC, the aftermarket accessory for Model X and pretty much any other car that you just don't want to put a roof rack with a cargo products on the top of that, because in case of Model X, it's Falcon wing doors that are kind of in the way. But a lot of people don't want to do it for different reasons. So this is essentially the roof rack for your vehicle hitch, and it's pretty light, so it doesn't really decrease your range, gas or electric. And on top of this, there is a discount code in the description of this video that will also get you free shipping. This is just for our audience. I believe it's one of the largest discounts they've ever given to anybody. So take advantage, check it out, and you can also go to xrec.us to look at all of their products. All right, so yeah, the market is not happy, and here's the stock price right now, which it dropped by almost 10%. Now it's down to maybe 6%. This is exactly, it looks like what they're worried, because okay, I get it. Giving $2,000 off is what's going to be cutting down in their profits, and if they sell, let's say their sales go up by 10% in the next quarter, which I think is reasonable. It's still so that, let's say they sell 100,000 cars next quarter in the United States. That means that they're going to lose out on $200 million. That's a lot of $1 million, but nevertheless, we don't know what the sales would have been like if they weren't sort of like catering to people who were counting on this tax credit discount, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not really sure why Wall Street is freaking out, why they're freaking out right now. They kind of should have freaked out, in the last few months because, the sales were going to fall because of this in the United States. They, of course, will probably come back strong in February once they're actually selling it in China and Europe. Actually, there are like 5 Model 3s, I guess, were already sold in Norway. But so yeah, there's going to be a dip here in January, as usually, the case is for all electric cars. You'll see, man, I'm just allergic to this news. I'm allergic. I'm having allergic reaction to stock markets. Allergic reaction to this. Anyway, I'm back. So yeah, I mean, listen, the good. So let's talk about the prices. I got my cheat sheet right here. Model 3 right now will start at 44,000. Model S will start at 76,000, and Model X will start at 82,000. Those are the new base pricing for all of these models, and I celebrate it. I think any price drop is good for the consumers. Obviously now people will deal with the tax credit, but just like I said, because it's a year from collecting it, I think this is actually not a bad compromise. Listen, all eyes are on obviously Model 3 going to $35,000. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see, what do you think this is going to make a big difference? Do you think that Tesla did the right thing, sacrificing profits for selling more cars? Looking forward to that. Other than that, see you next time. And remember to stay charged.